Hey everyone, this is Andrew Tsai and welcome to my YouTube channel. VMware Fusion, the virtual machine software, has just released Fusion Pro and Fusion Player version 13. And this is the first full official release of this software, which now supports Windows 11 ARM, as well as a whole bunch of features including virtual TPM and also improved graphics drivers as well. And it now comes in the form of a universal binary, which means that it's supported on Intel as well as Apple Silicon Macs. And today I'm going to show you a brand new tutorial on how to get Windows 11 ARM working on your M1 or M2 Mac. And also if you want to find out the difference between running Windows 11 ARM on VMware, UTM and Parallels, then make sure to check out my other YouTube video. I'll leave a link to this in the description. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please consider subscribing and you'll be able to keep up to date with the latest Mac tutorials. So the first thing we're going to do is to click the link at the top of the description, which is going to take you to the VMware Fusion page. So here we have a couple of choices. We can either buy the full paid version of VMware Fusion Pro 13, or we can try the Pro version for free. So this is definitely something that you should do if you're using this for business use. However, today what we're going to do is to install the free version, which is called Fusion 13 Player, and this is free for personal use. So at the bottom here, we're going to go ahead and register for a personal use license on Fusion 13 Player. So click on this. So once we get to this page, what we're going to need to do is to create an account in order to register our personal use license. So go ahead and click create an account. And what you want to do is to complete this form fully and enter all of your details. I've already registered, so I'm going to log into my account by pressing I have an account, and then going ahead and logging into my free VMware account. So once I've logged into my account, what I can do is to go ahead and press the button down here, which says register. And then it's going to ask us to accept this end user licensing agreement. Just go ahead and complete the details on this page here. So in theory, this should take you straight to the download package for VMware Fusion 13.0. However, in reality, it's going to be a little bit more frustrating, at least at the time of recording. The page might take you to the download link for version 12, which is a lot older, or you could just get this white screen all of the time. Other users have commented that this is an issue. However, if you keep trying this and keep refreshing, eventually you're going to get to the correct page. You'll be able to tell that you're at the right place finally when you get to the VMware Fusion binary section and you can see VMware Fusion Player Personal Use License. It'll have the correct version number and it'll say that it's built for Intel and Apple Silicon Macs. So go ahead and press the manual download button here. So once the download's complete, we're going to go to Finder and then we're going to go to our downloads folder and then we're going to find VMware Fusion and double click on this universal DMG. So now we have our VMware Fusion Player 13 installer. So what we're going to do is to double click on this. And here it's asking us if we sure want to open it. Press open, type in your password and press OK, and it started to initialize. Here we're going to press agree, and then we'll be met with this activation window. What we need to do is to find our personal use license key. We're going to control click and then press copy, and then go back and then enter our VMware Fusion key and press continue. So now we're going to press the done button, and now we're going to go ahead and launch the application. So I'm going to go to Finder, and then we'll go to Applications. Then I'm going to scroll down until we find VMware Fusion. So double click on this now, and now we're going to go ahead and create a custom virtual machine, press continue. And here we're going to be installing Windows 11 64-bit ARM, press continue, continue. So Windows 11 ARM is going to require a virtual TPM in order to work. And here it's asking us to create a password for the TPM. Here we're going to select only files needed to support TPM are encrypted and then auto generate a password, but it's going to be stored in our Mac's keychain. So just press continue. And to install Windows 11 ARM, what we're going to need to do is to select an existing virtual disk. And in order to do this, we're going to have to go ahead and download one. So what I'm going to do is to go back to our web browser, and then we're going to go to this address, which I'll leave a link to in the description. And this is going to allow us to download Windows Insider 11 ARM. So we can register this for free. All we need to do is to log in or create a Microsoft account, which we're going to do now. Here I'm going to go ahead and create an account, and then we're going to create a password, enter some more details. And once we've logged into our account, we need to become a member of the Windows Insider program. So what we're going to do is to go to a second page, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well, insider.windows.com. And then we're going to scroll down, and then we're going to press the register button, and we're going to accept the terms of the agreement, press register now, and then press flight now. So now our Microsoft account has been registered with the Windows Insider program. So now if we go back to this page here, what we're going to do is that because we're logged in and we're signed up to the Windows Insider program, just press refresh. And now this page has changed. We have the ability to download Windows 11 ARM Insider Preview. Now here what we're going to do is to select our edition. So I recommend downloading the beta channel, which is going to be more stable than the dev channel. So select beta channel here, press confirm. We're going to select our product language of English, press confirm. And now we're going to download Windows 11 ARM. So just wait for this to complete. This is going to download our VHDX file. It is 9.7 gigabytes in size. So now Windows 11 ARM has downloaded and the format is called VHDX. However, this is not accepted by VMware. So if we open up VMware and we try to choose this virtual disk, it's not going to allow us. And that's because VMware will only accept VMDK files. So now I'm going to show you how to convert this into VMDK. The first thing that we need to do is to install Homebrew in order to install this application called Qemu. And that's how we're going to convert the files. So when we go to this website, which I'll leave a link to in the description, we're going to click this clipboard icon on the right of here, and that's going to copy this command into our clipboard. Then we're going to go to the top right hand side, click on Spotlight, and then type in terminal, and then we're going to select the terminal application here. And then what we can do is control click and then paste that command. So this is going to download the Homebrew installer and then execute it on this Mac, press return. And here it's asking for a password. I'm going to type in my password and no asterisks or characters are going to appear here, but as long as you type it correctly and then press the return button, then this is going to execute the script, press return again to continue. And now Homebrew has started its install process. It only takes a few seconds for this to finish. Once it's done, we can test this by typing the command brew. And if this example usage comes up, then brew has been installed correctly. So now we're going to install Qemu. I want to do that by typing in the command brew space install space Qemu and then press return. And this is going to go ahead and download the Qemu application. So now that Qemu is installed, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. So next we're going to type in the command Qemu-img space convert space dash capital O space VMDK, then add a space at the end. And then we're going to go to Finder. And then we're going to go to our downloads folder and we're going to find our Windows 11 ARM VHDX file. And we're going to drag and drop this into terminal. And that's going to give us the file path of the original file that we're going to convert. So here we're going to leave a space and then we're going to type in the next file path of where the destination file is going to go. So I'm going to put mine in tilde/downloads/windows.vmdk. So basically what this is going to do is convert this VHDX file into the windows.vmdk file. If I go to downloads, put this here, and I press return on this command now, you'll see that the windows.vmdk file has been created. So just wait for that process to complete. Terminal will tell you when it's done. So now that the file has completed, you can see here that the actual file is going to be very similar in size to the old VHDX file. And now that the command prompt is here, we're basically done. So we can close this. And now we're going to go back to VMware Fusion. So we're going to go back to our new virtual machine wizard window. We're going to choose virtual disk. And now we have the option to select our Windows VMDK. So here I'm going to select this option, make a separate copy of the virtual disk, and then press choose. And now I'm going to press continue. So now what we can do is press the finish button, and then we're going to save our virtual machine. By default, it goes in the user folder under virtual machines. Press save here. Now it's copying, and now VMware has started booting up Windows 11 ARM. So at this stage, the setup is not going to continue because we don't have internet. We don't have the option here to continue without internet, and that's because the virtual machine doesn't have access to the network drivers because they haven't been installed yet. And the normal workaround for this is not actually working. So what we need to do is to restart the virtual machine, and I'm going to show you a different workaround now. So what I want to do is click on virtual machine and then press the restart button. We're going to restart this virtual machine entirely. So now that we're back at the setup, we need to enter the command Shift F10. So on a Mac computer, most commonly you press Function, Shift, and then the F10 key. So you're going to press the Yes button to allow changes, and this is going to open up an elevated prompt. Then we want to type the command OOBE/bypass NRO. Then we're going to press return, and then the virtual machine is going to restart. So here we're going to go through our country setup again, keyboard, skip. Now we have the option here which says I don't have internet. So we can now select this and can continue our account setup process. Here we're going to select continue with limited setup. And now we can accept the license agreement. Here we'll enter our name, press next, next on the password, skip that. And we're just going to press next on all of these privacy settings. And now Windows 11 ARM is finishing setting up. So here it's saying it's taking a few minutes to set up. And now we booted into the Windows desktop, press close, and then we have a couple of elevated prompts. That's from the initial setup process, just press yes. And now we've got into the Windows desktop. So this is going to be pretty familiar to anyone who's used a Windows computer before. What you're going to notice first of all is that we don't have an internet connection. So next we need to install VMware tools, but before we can do that, we need to enable the execution of PowerShell scripts. So we're going to click on start here and then type in PowerShell, and then we're going to run this as administrator. Press yes here. And now we have the PowerShell window open. So now we're going to enter this command, which is set-execution policy space remote signed. Here we're going to press return. We're going to press A and then return for yes to all. And now we can go ahead and load up the VMware tools. So go to the top menu bar and then click virtual machine. And then what we're going to do is click reinstall VMware tools. Here we're going to press install. So next we open up File Explorer. So now we're going to scroll down and find the DVD drive where the VMware tools have been mounted. And here we're going to find the setup PowerShell script. So we're going to right click on here and then click the button run with PowerShell. Here we're going to press yes and allow PowerShell to make changes. And now the network and the graphics drivers have been installed. And you can already see here that the network access has been enabled. I'm going to press a key to continue. And now we have internet access. If I open up the Edge browser, I can go online. And also because I have graphics drivers as well, if I right click on here and go to display settings, I can now tweak the resolution from 1024 by 768 and I can push this up to the native resolution which I'm recording at, which is 1080p, and I can go ahead and maximize this as well so that it's running in full screen mode. So now we have our network drivers, we have our graphics drivers working, and so Windows 11 ARM is pretty much fully functional on this computer. However, it's a bit disappointing that there isn't a huge amount of difference between the full official release of VMware Fusion 13 and say the tech preview that was released months ago. Despite VMware supporting Windows 11 ARM, the installation process is extremely clunky, requiring many workarounds, which is not really great for what is technically a paid product. And it's far behind Parallels, which is virtually a one-click install. Furthermore, from an Apple Silicon Mac perspective, it also lacks the feature of operating system emulation. So for example, UTM can actually emulate x86 operating systems, albeit quite slowly. So it's a bit odd that VMware doesn't support this. Lastly, if you want to use this for gaming, then you're going to be disappointed. The graphics support remains at OpenGL 4.3. This is despite other software, for example, Parallels, being able to play plenty of AAA titles, which are running DirectX 10 or 11. If you want to find out more about the differences between the different methods of running Windows 11 ARM, then make sure to check out the video, which I'll leave a link to in the description. Anyway, let me know what you think about this release of VMware Fusion 13. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.